Hey everyone, today we are talking about dolls that went small. Now, I was thinking to myself, why does this exist? Why do we see it with so many doll lines? Like, I was very surprised when I was researching. At first I thought there was not going to be enough dolls to talk about, but then I found a decent amount. And I wanted to do this because I think these mini dolls are really cute. And when I was trying to think of an answer for why does this exist, I think that's the short and obvious answer, is that we as humans just find tiny things very cute. Like a small little puppy or a little kitten. We just always associate tiny with cute and adorable. And I'm sorry if you can hear the rain. It is pouring today. But anyways, yeah, when something is shrunken down to a smaller scale, you're really drawn in and you really notice more of the details. It pulls you in. You want to get closer and it's so tiny and cute and you want to look at it. It's more captivating. And I don't know, there are lots of things on the world that have a shrunken down, smaller version, not just for the sake of being cute. A lot of times there is a practical reason, and I was trying to think of some examples of some things like, you know, travel size items of like moisturizer, deodorant, hairspray, or, you know, fun size candy bars, or oh my gosh, the snack Pringles, the little Pringles in the snack size things, or my personal favorite, the little single serving boxes of cereal. All of those things put a smile on my face for some reason, and yes, they have a practical purpose for the sake of being portable. You could bring it to lunch, maybe they're more affordable, but yeah, I mean, you can't deny, like when I'm at CVS and if I see a mini can of shaving cream, I'm like, oh my god, that is so cute. So yeah, I don't know. So, you know, with the dolls that we know and love, they get the little fun size treatment from time to time as well. So now there are tons of dolls that come in various sizes. So in order to streamline this list a little bit, there are some rules today. So the first being that the dolls that we talk about have to be released by the same company. So for example, there could be a character like Superwoman, and one company could release her in this size, and then another company could release her in this size. So we're not talking about that. It has to be the same company released her in this size, and then they also released her in that size. And another rule is that this size, the bigger version, had to come out first or at the same time as the smaller version. So if the smaller version came first, and then the doll was later reinvented in a larger size, for example, LOL Surprise, we are not going to be talking about those dolls today. Okay, next, and definitely one of the most important rules, is it has to be a true, proper fashion doll, meaning removable fashions. No molded on clothes. And lastly, it needs to have articulation, so nothing that is stuck in a static pose. Okay, I'm so sorry, editing me here. I just want to say there's one other rule that I really tried to stick to. There might be one or two exceptions on the list, but the large size doll and the small size doll have to be the same character. So I'm avoiding doll lines where they would release a doll in, you know, one size, and then they would release the same thing but in a smaller size, but in the smaller size they are brand new, totally different characters. Like for example, the OMG dolls, we would get those, and then we would also get the Tweens dolls later, which look just like OMG dolls but a smaller size, but they are actually a totally new group of characters. We would never get the same OMG characters in that tween size. So I hope that makes sense. With those rules out of the way, let's finally go ahead and talk about our very first doll. So in 1955, the company Greener and Hauser, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, would release the Bild Lilli doll, and she would come in two sizes. There was one that was approximately 12 inches and one approximately 7 inches. So the smaller size doll was released at a slightly lower price point, but made with the same amount of quality and detail as the full size. Both sizes of the doll would have molded on shoes, but everything else was rooted hair and fully removable fashions. So I did pull a quote from the article The Stolen Legacy of Bild Lilli from the website Hobby Lark. So they say that Lilli wasn't only the world's first mass-marketed plastic fashion doll, but she was also the first to come in different sizes. So I don't know if that is totally true. It very well could be. I just wasn't able to find much else around this time that was a plastic fashion doll with a removable fashion, rooted hair, and came in 2 sizes. So yeah, Bild Lilli is the first on our list. And sadly, Bild Lilli did cease production in about 1964, I believe. So next, in 1994, Mattel would release these Disney mini princesses, and I remember having one of them as a kid, and I think it was maybe the dancing Sleeping Beauty. For some reason, I just remember watching the movie Sleeping Beauty and having like one of these mini dolls, and it could dance, and it came with the prince, I think, too. But yeah, they would release a ton of these. They would release the musical princess collection, the dancing princess collection. They would release the princess individually and the prince individually, but then they would also release them together in a set. They would release these perfume princesses, these bubble princesses. So these are so adorable. And of course, Mattel was also at the same time releasing the larger full-size version of these Disney princess characters. And sadly, these are no longer in production. Okay, next in 1995, the company Bandai, I think, would release Sailor Moon dolls. And these dolls would also come in 2 sizes. One that was about 11.5 inches and one that was about 6 inches. And I would love to have these dolls. I need to rewatch Sailor Moon because she is so iconic. And the toy company Irwin would also release the same exact thing. And I don't know all the history behind the Sailor Moon dolls, except that they are so cute and they would come in 2 sizes. And here's a little size comparison of, actually, they would release a large version, like an 18-inch, and then the standard, what I would consider to be the standard, like 11-inch, and then the smaller version as well. About the same time, 1995, American Girl from Pleasant Company would release what they would say at first was a doll for your American Girl doll, and this was about 6-inch American Girl doll, and this was practically identical, just like all the other dolls so far, but practically identical to their full 18-inch counterpart. So these dolls would have glass eyes, they would have rooted, well, not rooted, they would have wigs, they would have a soft body, and then the hard, joints, just like the full-size dolls. And oh my gosh, they would also, in the year 2000, release my favorite mini playsets, which are the Illuma rooms for the American Girl minis. So they would release a couple different rooms for these dolls, and each and every one of them is so cute and so detailed, and I love them so much. I have a second that I need to open. I do have one that I've already set up, but I do have another one that I need to open. So we might have a part 2 for this mini shrunken smaller scale doll video that we're doing today. There might be a part 2 where we actually look close up and maybe unbox some of the mini dolls that I've got. Next, as I've already shown you, the company Play Along in the year 1999, I believe, would release some mini Britney Spears dolls. And of course, they would also release the full-size Britney doll. So they would take the full Britney doll and shrink her down to this about 6-inch version of the original, like 11.5-inch doll. And oh, these dolls are just so cute, so detailed. They released like a dozen or more of these dolls, and there would be some really, really cute different play sets for these dolls. When I was a kid, I had the concert stage, and they also had these little cars for the dolls too. We will be opening this mini Britney in part 2, so stick around for that. And then the following year, Play Along would also release some Mandy Moore dolls, so we would also get a mini version of the Mandy Moore dolls as well. And I think in 2001, they put out the Aaron Carter dolls, which are so cute, by the way. And they also put out tons of mini Aaron Carter dolls as well. So just like the Britney dolls, the mini dolls were about 6.5 inches maybe, and they would very, very closely resemble their larger counterparts. And sadly, these dolls are no longer in production. Blythe, which was originally released by Kenner in 1972, would get a refresh by the company Decora in 2001. Would release 3 different sizes of Blythe dolls. So yeah, here's a picture that I found online from the BlytheGuide.com. Next, another thing that I don't know a whole lot about, but the W.I.T.C.H dolls. So the W.I.T.C.H dolls are, of course, based on the Italian comic, and the comic came out in about 2001, so I think the dolls came out around the same size. But these dolls would range also around 11 inches for the main size dolls, and then around 9 centimeters. Hey Siri, how many inches is 9 centimeters? So the W.I.T.C.H dolls would come in about a 12-inch size, and then also close to about 4-inch size. Okay, editing me again. I'm not completely confident what the size of these mini dolls are, because I'm seeing some places say that they are 9 centimeters, and some other places saying that they are like 18 centimeters. So they could have ranged anywhere from about like 4 inches to 7 inches to 13 inches. So definitely let me know in the comments if you know more about these dolls and all the different sizes they came in. And I think they are so adorable. I don't know much about which, but yeah, these dolls look great. They've got everything that we need on this list. They have rooted hair, removable fashions. Some of them would come with an extra set of clothing or a little accessory or a little playset. And I don't know how to pronounce this name. I believe this is the company that released the W.I.T.C.H dolls. Next, we have Bratz from MGA in 2002. So Bratz originally came out, I think, in 2001. And then in 2002, we would get the Little Bratz. And there are dozens, so many Little Bratz that are so cute, that are either, you know, have their own original fashions, original characters, and original playsets, or there would be some that were a pretty identical scaled down version of the full-size dolls. And I do have some Little Bratz, and I'll show you a little size comparison of the Little Bratz versus the regular size Bratz. And these Little Bratz are about 4 inches, I believe. Next, very random, but Kim Possible in about 2002 from, I think, the company Equity or Pop Rocket, they would release 2 sizes of a Kim Possible doll. So she would come in about 10.5 inches, but also 4.5 inches. And I think all of these dolls are adorable, both the full size and the smaller size. The smaller size would get some fun play sets, it looks like, and some removable fashions, some extra characters. Next, I don't know exactly the year, I'm assuming it is early 2000s, but Lisa Frank would release the Fab Friends dolls, and they would come in approximately 7 inches and 11 inches. And these are from the company Playline, and these dolls are so colorful, so Lisa Frank, so vibrant, and again, I would love to own them. I think they are super cute. These Lisa Frank dolls are sadly no longer in production. Next, we have our first honorable mention. So I'm just throwing these in based on like the timeline, but I'm biased, so I have to include it. Mary-Kate and Ashley, as we all know, they have their fashion dolls released by Mattel. They are about 10.5 inches. The fashion dolls would just represent Mary-Kate and Ashley either just as themselves or Mary-Kate and Ashley as some of their characters from some of their TV shows or movies. So Mary-Kate and Ashley had a TV show, an animated series called Inaction, and Mattel would give the Inaction series their own line of dolls. So these are an honorable mention because they are not a direct mini version of the 10-inch fashion dolls. These are really their own, a separate doll line. They are a separate entity, in my opinion. But again, because I'm biased and I love Mary-Kate and Ashley, and just because I've got them right here, I want to show you them. These are about 6-7 inches or so, and they would get various different lines within this miniature version, and an airplane playset that I did have as a kid. Now, sadly, these dolls do not have rooted hair, but the fashions are fully removable, and the dolls are fully bendy, posable, so again, I'm biased, I had to mention it, and sadly, these Mary-Kate and Ashley dolls are no longer in production. We have the Sindy dolls. So Sindy's been around for a very long time, and she's been licensed by many different companies, but And around 2003, the company New Moon Limited would release 6.5-inch dolls, and Sindy would typically always be around 11.5-inch. So New Moon would release 11.5-inch dolls, but they also released these adorable 6.5-inch dolls, and I want them so bad. I want them so bad. They are so early 2000s, glamorous, chic, fun, and they would get some cute little play sets, different fashions, and Lookin' Bratz on YouTube has an unboxing video of this play set that I want so bad. Also, the little Sindy Museum on YouTube has a great unboxing video of one of these mini dolls, and of course these dolls are no longer in production. Next, Mattel would release the Mini Kingdom for Barbie. So Barbie was going through her little movie princess era, so we would get the Swan Lake Barbie, we would get Princess and the Pauper, Barbie as Rapunzel, and then in 2005 with the Mini Kingdom, we would see those same dolls, those same characters shrunken down into about 6 inches tall. They would have molded on shoes, but everything else was removable fashions. There would be some that had Polly Pocket-esque rubber fashions, but also many that had proper cloth fashions. So these again are adorable, super detailed. They would come with great accessories and little play sets. Mattel would also release in about 2008 the High School Musical Club. I think that's what it was called. No, it was called Club HSM. Club High School Musical. And these dolls were super detailed, super cute. So these are mini versions of the High School Musical characters, which Mattel also released the full-size versions of the High School Musical characters. And yeah, these are sort of rare, it seems. Of course, they're no longer in production, but they were articulated, they had rooted hair, fully removable fashions, and they would come with really cute playsets too. Mattel would also release in 2008 the Peekaboo Petites / Mini B dolls, and these are kind of an honorable mention too, because they're very stylized, but I did want to include them because they are really cute, and sometimes the mini versions of the dolls are a little more stylized and are a little more cartoony, but I think they're cute, and I really love this set of the historical timeline of Barbie throughout the years, Barbie throughout the different decades. Because these really do resemble a scaled down version of the iconic original Barbies. So yeah, and then they'd sometimes get some cute little play sets as well. Next, the Disney Store and sometimes Disney Parks would release these mini princesses very similar to what we saw in 1994 with Mattel. Yeah, these 6-inch mini princesses, and I don't know when this came out, maybe sometime around 2010, but these are so detailed. They look like very nice quality. And some of them would just come as a sole single doll, but then some would come in sets where you get multiple characters, or you get a little play set where it's a little scene and they come with little furniture pieces, more accessories, an extra outfit. They had fully removable fashions, rooted hair. I think these are gorgeous. I would love to own them someday. Disney would also release their Animators collection of dolls in around 2011. First as 16-inch dolls, but then they would later get these 5-inch dolls. So these are from the Disney Store, and these are so cute. Again, we get these adorable little play sets, removable fashions, brushable hair. Yeah, I think these are so cute. They have these little kind of lunchbox style play sets. They're so adorable. Hey everyone, editing me here. There are just 2 doll lines that I want to mention that I forgot, and they go pretty back to back within the timeline. So first, I think around 2014, Our Generation by Mason Batat would release Just Like American Girl 18-inch dolls, and then also the same characters in a 6-inch size. Also, around 2015 or 2016, MGA would release the Shibajuku girls, and they were originally 13 inches, but then maybe a year later, we would get the same exact characters released in a 6-inch size called Shibacuties, and they had rooted hair, articulation, removable clothing, but they did have molded on socks and shoes. So next we have another sort of honorable mention. Jakks Pacific would release these 5-inch petite Disney dolls, and again, I don't think Jakks Pacific ever released a larger version of these characters, so they are sort of an honorable mention. Maybe they did release larger versions, but these mini petite dolls are very, very close and similar to the traditional full-size dolls that were either released by Mattel or the Disney Store. So yeah, I did want to include them because they are super cute. Barbie Extra would release Barbie Extra Mini in about 2002. And yeah, I've got one of them right here. And I think they are so cute. They are, again, more stylized cartoon-esque versions of the Barbie Extra dolls. And they also are kind of like their own characters, their own styles, their own fashions. So they're not direct miniature replicas of the full-size dolls, but it's, you know, it's Barbie Extra Minis. So it is the mini world of the Barbie Extra dolls, and these are so cute. And I will be opening this in the part 2, so definitely stick around for part 2. Yeah, and it's assumed that Barbie Extra is no longer in production, so I would believe that the Barbie Extra Minis are also no longer in production. Next, we would also get in 2002 by MGA Dream Ella Extra Iconic, and they would also give us the Extra Iconic Mini dolls. So same deal. I think these were originally like a 11.5-inch doll, and then they would come in a maybe like 5.5, 6.5-inch smaller versions. But again, these smaller versions are just like fresh new characters, new fashions. But you know, it is called Dream Ella Extra Iconic Mini. So next, Rainbow High would give us in 2022 by MGA these 9-inch versions of the Junior High dolls. So these are meant to be the original characters in a smaller Junior High version. So yeah, the dolls were originally a 11-inch, but they were originally a 14-inch doll that then was totally reinvented into the Rainbow High as we know it. But yeah, I think they're adorable. For some reason, Junior High tends to not get a lot of love, it seems like, and I think they're so cute. But yeah, I do want to get some someday. Next, we have the Na 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 Surprise Minis by MGA in 2023. So Na 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 Surprise, I believe, started out as a 7.5-inch doll, and then they would get the Na 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 Surprise Teens that were 11 inches, and then we would get the Na 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 Surprise Minis, which were 4 inches. Now, these dolls were not fully rooted when it came to the hair. They all had hats, and the hats were glued on, and beneath the hat they were bald, but they would get a track of hair underneath the hat. So yeah, they were not fully rooted, but they did have brushable hair. They also had the Polly Pocket-esque rubber clothing, kind of like LOL Surprise dolls. But yeah, the hats were not removable, but the shoes were. The shoes were removable, so that's cool. And they were hard plastic rather than soft cloth bodies like the original Na 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 Surprise or Na 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 Surprise Teens dolls. So yeah. And then we have the Decora Girls from 2024. So we have the Decora Girls and then the Decora Fashion Girls. So the Decora Girls are the 5-inch version, and the Fashion Girls are the 11-inch versions, and these are by Sepia, I think is the company, and these are like color crazy, vibrant overload, super fun, super cute. They come with these stickers, colorful hair. The smaller ones, it looks like, can come with a little sticker shop playset. So these look really cute, and I do want to get some. I'm just curious to check out both the full size and the smaller size. And that is finally it for our list. Please let me know who were your favorites. Let me know if there's any that I missed. Do you collect mini dolls? Do you have a preference between the full size or the mini? I really love both. I think I'll always love the full size traditional doll, but the mini ones are so cute. And I mean, come on. Travel size items are so cute, and snack Pringles are so cute, right? I'm not the only one who thinks that, right? Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Stay tuned for part 2, where we do some unboxings and some more in-depth close-up looks at these mini dolls. Thanks again. Bye.